Okay, so today basically we will discuss regarding like action functions. Okay, so some of the actions methods are there in Salesforce. Okay,
Yes.
so what are nothing but action method? So action method basically yesterday we were discussing about command button, right?
Yes.
Okay, so command button is also one of the action like things. Okay, action things are nothing but see whenever some actions happened on that particular component, so basically it is going to perform something on background. Okay, so that is basically use of the action method. So either it's a command button or command link, or it may be action function or action support or action follow or action region or action status. So these files are basically action functions. Okay, action support, action function, action region, action polar, action status.
Okay.
So we will discuss one by one what is nothing but a action support.
Okay.
Okay, so action supports are nothing but see whenever some actions happened on that particular like component. Okay, so it is going to call the methods in the controller. Okay, so let's say if I open an account page. Okay, let's say if I select the my accounts.
Okay.
Okay, so it is going to display all the accounts of mine, right?
Yes.
Right, so even though I am not doing anything, if you see here, so I am just selecting new this week. So here I am not submitting any button or I am not hitting any some of the action things here, correct? So here just I am selecting the drop down.
Yes.
Correct. So once you select this particular drop down, basically it is going to call one of the methods in the controller. It will fetch the data and it is going to display it here. Correct. So this is nothing but a use of the action support. Okay. Action support are nothing but basically it will supports for the existing component. So it will component which will support for the existing component. Okay, assume this is nothing but a what is this? This is nothing but a drop down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, action support functions are supporting for this back drop down list. Okay, so now we'll clear, right?
Yeah. Clear.
Okay, so let me explain you an example. Okay, so let me create one class. So we will take the same class like calculator class. Okay, so let me take the calculator code. Okay, this is simple class. Okay, so we'll discuss about this class. Okay, so and let me create one VF page. Create one VF page. So if you see here, there is one option here available for Salesforce mobile apps and Lightning pages. Okay. So
Yes.
whenever click this page as a checked, so basically these pages we can able to we see this same page in the mobile application also.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you want to use this page for the mobile use also, so basically make sure this checkbox should be enabled.
Okay.
Okay, or else these pages are not available in the mobile devices. Okay, so if you click this one, so previously so we had some button, right? So doing any operations, correct? So previously we had a button in the controller, correct? So now there is no buttons here, so there is only a drop down.
Yes.
Okay, let's say if I select multiple, so it is going to say multiplicity divided by, say it is going. So we are not submitting any button here, correct? So this drop down will take care about all those things.
Okay.
So this is how like action support functions are really useful. Correct. Assume, so let's say there is a two you heard about dependent pick list, right? Dependent pick list.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Correct. So whenever we selected somewhere, let's say I am selecting some country, so in that case, so it has to populate all the status, correct? So in that case, so it is affecting only another drop down, not other. So in that situation, basically we have to go for either action support or it may be action function. Okay, action support and action function. In that scenario, basically these things will be useful. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you come to the example of this particular code, okay, so apex dot select list. Okay, so apex dot select list. So select list is a component, okay, so which is used for displaying the drop down. Okay, so whenever we want to display the drop down in UI, basically we have to go for a select list component.
Okay.
Okay, so so that is the one thing. And value, what is nothing but a value? Okay, so values are nothing but, so the values which you are selecting here, so either it is a multiple or division, okay, or it is addition. So the selected value, okay, so selected value going to store it in this particular property. Okay, size is equal to 1. Okay, size is equal to 1 means here, so we can able to select only one value, right? Only one option, right? That is means size equal to 1. Okay, how to populate these options here? How to populate these options? We can populate the options by using select options. Okay, items. What is nothing but items in our controller? So items is nothing but basically this is the item, correct? Okay, if you see the item should be a like list in the particular controller, correct?
Yes.
Item should be a list in particular controller. If you see here, okay, so if you see here, there is a one getter setter method is there. So basically this is a getter method. Okay, so this is a basically a getter method, so which is going to return those options. Correct? See here, select options. I am creating a one list of the type select options. Okay, so we always have to create a select option type list, or else it won't possible to display those things in our select options here. Okay, you should always of the type select options. Okay, now create the instance of that particular thing and add it like this. This is a syntax for adding the data for that particular select options. Okay, clear, right?
Yeah.
So this is nothing but a label which is showing there. Okay, this is nothing but an internal value. Okay, this is nothing but a add. If you see here, so division is a value here, right? But division is a label actually. This is nothing but actual value beside that particular label. Okay, so whenever user, this is clear, right? This part is clear, right?
Yeah.
So action support is a child of this particular tag select list, right? Action support is a child of select list.
Okay.
So if you see here, there is a one attribute called event. Correct?
Yes.
On change up, so we can mention on change or on key up, key down, okay, or mouse over, mouse double click. So these are particular events, okay, mouse events. Okay, so we are making it as event is a on change. Okay, whenever changing this particular option, basically it has to call this particular method in the controller. Okay, if you see here, so this is a method, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever someone changes this particular option, let's say I am changing this one, in that time it is going to call that particular controller method, quick list action will call.
Okay.
So selected option is it is holding these particular options which you have selected. Okay, so based on that here it is doing the addition or subtraction or multiplication, or it may be division. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, if selected option equal to addition, perform a add operation here. If it is a subtraction, make it minus. If it's a multiplication, make it so same thing for division also, multiply it or divide it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how this action support will work. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
So we can use it should be, one thing is nothing but it should be a child for the some other component. It always child for some other component. Okay, so same thing is we can use it for checkbox, or we can use it for buttons also, delete button. Okay, or it may we can use it for radio buttons also, so on. Okay, so the important thing is nothing but it always as a child for some other component. It means that it will support for some other component internally. Okay, clear, right?
Yeah.
Any question?
No.
Okay, fine. So in this case, so what we are doing is nothing but, so we are directly calling the controller. Correct? So
Yes.
some of the situation, let's say if I want to delete some account, let's say I will go to some, let's say I will go to one account. Okay, I am going to delete this particular account. Okay, in that case it is asking some alert, right? Are you sure?
Yes.
Cancel it. Okay. How to achieve these kind of functionality? How to achieve these kind of functionality? Okay, so for that thing, so they gave an option called action function.
Okay.
Okay, action functions are nothing but it looks the functionality is similar to a action support. Okay, functionality is similar to action support, but thing is nothing but before calling the controller method, it is going to call a JavaScript.
Okay.
Okay, so it is going to call a JavaScript. In JavaScript, basically we can write this kind of validation. Okay, so this kind of validation we can write it in the JavaScript.
Okay.
So if the validation is passes, then basically we can call the controller method and we can do the business over there.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the use of action function.
Okay.
So if you see this particular example, okay, so this should not be a part of any of the other component. Okay,
Okay.
so thing is nothing but, so here itself we are mentioning on change.
Yeah.
Okay, if you cross check this one, so here we are mentioning event.
Yes.
Okay, action support event is equal to on change, action is equal to this particular thing, correct?
Yes.
So if you see this particular action function, it is basically on change. Okay, on change of this particular thing, so we are calling some JavaScript method, my function. Okay, my function is a JavaScript function here.
Okay.
Okay, so what it is doing, so here I am writing some business logic here. Okay, if it is successful, if business logic is, if validation passes, basically I am calling the controller method here.
Okay.
See here, call method. Call method is calling the action functions. Okay, action functions will call this particular pick list action method.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically the select list, so it will internally call the JavaScript will invoke. Okay, so JavaScript will internally do some validation. If validation passes, it is calling the action function here. Okay, so action functions will call the controller method. So that is actually a
Okay.
major difference here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, so let me copy this particular code. Okay, so let me copy this particular code. You got it right? Clear, right?
Clear. No, action function. This is what.
Okay, so let me say preview. Say it behaves same actually. Okay, so let me say subtract C. Are you sure? Need to continue.
Okay.
Cancel it up. Or if I say multiplication, are you sure? If you click on OK, so then it is going to call the controller method and it is going to invoke that particular thing.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in this particular like JavaScript method, okay, in particular this is a JavaScript. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
we can embed JavaScript in the VF page. Okay. For that, basically we have to mention this particular thing, script tag. Okay. And another thing is nothing but we have to write it in the beginning of the this particular VF page. Okay. It is always better best practice to write a script at the beginning of our VF page.
Okay.
Okay, why? Because so it will compile first, right? So if you are writing it here, so how VF page it will compile is nothing but it is reading the line one by one and it is going to compile it out, correct? Okay, assume you are writing something, you are calling something before defining this particular script. Maybe sometimes it will throw some error. Depends on the browser. Okay, depends on the browser. Sometimes it will throw the error. Okay, so it is always best practice to write the script at the beginning.
Okay.
Okay, so this is basically a
Action function.
action function.
Yeah.
So there is a one tag called okay, so there is a one tag called rendered. Okay, so rendered is equal to pg table. Okay, I will explain you what is this. Is equal to is a table. Okay, so if you observe this one, it is like refreshing the entire screen, right?
Yes.
In the sense browser page.
Browser.
Okay, if you say render tag, okay, so render tag, okay, let's say if I refresh, okay, so render tag basically, okay, I think there is some error. I think we can't use render tag here. So I will show you a render tag example. Okay, so whenever we are using a render tag, okay, so basically the browser it won't disable. So whenever we are using a render tag, okay, what it will happen is nothing but, so it is basically it is going it won't refresh the entire screen. Okay, it won't refresh the entire screen. Okay, hold on. There is something. Okay, let's say 12,2. See, that's not coming right. I think
Something else.
hold on, page source. Okay, I will check this one. There is some error is there. Okay, so
Okay, sure.
Okay, so whenever you are using a render tag, I will show you the example later. Whenever you are using a render tag, basically this browser it won't refresh. Okay, so it is internally it is going to do some activity and it is going to display it here. Okay, there is use of render tag. We'll discuss that one tomorrow. Okay, so this is basically use of action functions. Okay, so there's a difference between action support and action functions are. Action support basically we are using whenever we are supporting for the some existing component. Okay, so there is a use of action support, and in case of action support basically it will directly call the controller method, since so we can't able to write any validation for that. Okay, so whenever there is a scenario where we need to process that particular request, we have to validate that particular request and we have to process it. So in that case, so basically we can able to go for action functions. Okay, so this is the main difference. Okay, you clear, right, why you have to go for action functions and action support?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so third thing is nothing but action polar. Okay, third thing is nothing but action polar.
Okay.
So what is nothing but action polar? If you observe Facebook or some of the like live score cricket website and all, the data it is going to refresh automatically, correct?
Yes.
So without without refreshing the browser, the data will keep on populating down, correct?
Yes.
So without refreshing the browser, so that kind of functionality we can achieve it by using action polar. Okay, so we can use it by using the action polar. Okay, so in action polar, so what it will happen is nothing but, so we have to mention interval. Okay, so interval it will be in millisecond. Okay, so interval will be in second. Okay, Okay, so action polar, so this is a tag, so interval is a 5 second. So for each 5 seconds, so it is going to call that particular controller method, and it is going to render it here. Okay, so it is going to render it here. So this is how we can populate the data, so without refreshing the page. Okay, without refreshing the page, so we can able to populate the data.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
So let me copy this particular controller. Controller you understood, right? So this is a value we are taking from the box, okay, from the UI.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is nothing but a controller constructor, correct? So this is nothing but a constructor. So in that particular method, action method, this is a method, right?
Yeah.
We are just incrementing one by one.
Yeah.
Okay, so incrementing one by one.
Okay.
So let's say okay, so let me save this particular page. Okay, and whenever we click on preview, you see here it's a 0, right? After 5 seconds, so it is going to become 1. See, 1.
You don't have to refresh the page in case of action polar then.
Correct.
Uh,
See, it become 2. Okay, so this is simple example. Okay, so we can render any type of data.
okay.
Okay, so by using action polar.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you want to render in some pages, so you want to display the total number of accounts. Okay, so in that case, so basically, so you can go for a like action polar, and you can show it there. Okay, so this is basically for fetching the latest values, or we can
Okay.
fetch the latest values or total number of values, something like that, so without refreshing the page. Okay, so and if you see this particular rendered example, re-render. Okay, so re-render is basically a tag, okay, attribute. Okay, what it will happen, so where I have to render this particular data back in a page. Okay, it means that, so this is a form ID. Okay, so for each tag, basically we can mention an ID. Okay, ID means just referring this particular section.
Okay.
Correct. If you want to refer this particular section, so how to do that? So basically we can go through by using this particular ID.
Okay.
Okay, so I am saying, so action polar is calling this particular action method, correct? Action polar is calling this action method, so where I need to display the data once I receive from the controller. Okay, I am saying re-render it in ABC.
Okay.
ABC is the ID of this particular component, so in that case it is going to put it in this particular form tag. So that is the reason it is not refreshing that page.
Okay.
Okay, clear, right?
Yeah.
So this is nothing but a re-render.
Okay.
So there is a one more tag called render has. Okay. So
Okay.
render as we can write it in the page. So
Okay.
we can write it in the page, apex page, tag. So render as. So there is a only 2 or 3 option is there. One is nothing but a PDF, and I think one more option is nothing but something called Excel something.
Excel and Word. I guess 3 actions are there, right?
Yeah, correct. So what it will happen, so if I say like this, so it is going to display this particular VA page as a PDF.
Okay.
Okay, it is going to display the PDF formatted page.
Okay.
Okay, so no need of writing separate code required. Okay, so that is how we can use a constructed PDF from VA page.
Okay.
Okay, clear, right? You can try this one. So, or else we will try later also.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's say I will create one account. Okay, once I save that particular account, it has to redirect to some PDF format. So okay, so in that situation, basically we can able to go with this particular
Okay.
Okay, so this is something called render as.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a one more thing called rendered.
Mm-hmm.
There is a one more thing called rendered. This is a boolean value. It will accept only true or false.
Okay.
Okay, so rendered, so it will accept true or false. Basically we are using this rendered flag in the basically input or output parameters, like input field or output field, or like a select list. Okay, so these places we are using. So what it will happen if you say rendered, so basically if you mention as a true, that particular like field is going to display.
Okay.
Okay, if you are making as a false, basically that particular field is going, it is not going to display.
Okay.
Okay, you got it right. So some of the situation, let's say if you are a system admin, display some particular flag, some particular like assume there is a 10 output fields are there. Okay, if you are a system admin, so display all the 10 output fields. Okay, if you are other than system admin, so basically so don't display the some few of the information. Okay, so in that case, so in the controller we can set one flag, let's say some xyz flag, dynamically value. Okay, so set it as true, so in that case it is going to display it. If you make it as false, then it won't display it.
Okay.
Okay, you got it right? Okay, so this is how this rendered flag is used. So if you want to show me the example, see here they are using a output panel. Okay,
Okay.
so output panel is nothing but one panel. So inside that we are going to write all the output fields here.
Okay.
Output field. Okay, panel is something a set of panel areas. Okay, inside that we are going to mention a output field here. Okay, so what it will happen, rendered equal to, if opportunity stage is equal to closed one. Okay, in that case if equal to closed one, then basically what it will happen, so if it's a true, right, then only it has to display this particular information.
Okay.
Okay, inside that. Okay, some info. If it is a other than closed one, basically don't display the that particular component. So this is basically use a rendered tag.
Okay.
Okay, so we can check the condition like this also, or we can check the condition in the page. Controller also, we can send back the data back to a particular page also.
Okay.
Okay, like query the, let's say, profile. Query the profile in constructor. Okay, if profile is equal to system administrator, set value as true or else set value as false.
Okay.
Correct. So like that, you can basically populate the values for those.
Okay.
Okay, so clear, right?
Yeah.
So this is basically three important things. One is a re-rendered, one is a rendered, and another one is a render as. Okay. Clear, right? Any questions?
Yes, it's clear.
So this is about this one. So these are nothing but action, polar. Okay, action, polar, and render as tag. Okay, so if you go to, and two more example is nothing but, okay, so two more example is nothing but action status. There is a one thing called action status. Okay, so I'll explain you what is this action status. Action status are something, let's say if I loading some pages, so sometimes it is showing some data, right? Let's say it is loading, or sometimes you are rendering some images, like rotating some images. Okay,
Yes.
so that kind of functionality we can achieve it by using action status.
Okay.
Okay, so that kind of functionality we can basically achieve it by using action status. Something is loading. Okay, interval is giving is, hold on, so we'll give a some small interval. So what it is happening, basically these things which will be useful whenever we are loading a big data.
Okay.
So whenever we are loading a huge data, let's say, so here I think we couldn't able to see the difference. See here, something you saw this, sometimes it is come incremented, it has come, see.
Yeah, it's incrementing. Yeah. So basically, if you are loading a huge page around like 1,000, 2,000 records,
Yes, so whenever we are fetching the some
the
set of
status will display on the page.
correct status, like now it is saying incrementing, right? Say
Yeah.
incrementing, it is some it is displaying. So
Yeah.
whenever it is taking a time, okay, so in that case, so we can tell the like end user, like it is doing some actions.
Okay.
Okay, that is nothing but a action status tag.
Okay.
So if you see here, this is simple tag action status. Okay, start text. Okay, so we can mention some text, stop text. Okay, we are mentioning some texts.
Okay.
So and ID is a counterpart. So
Yeah.
if you see here, we are referring that particular ID here in that particular action folder. Status is equal to counter status.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, what it will happen? So within this interval, okay, so till loading that particular thing, so it is going to display incrementing. Once it is done, immediately it is showing done particular thing.
Okay.
Okay, so now it is a loading with a text, right? Same thing we can achieve it for image also.
Okay.
Okay, we can put some image reference here,
Okay.
and we can make it by image also. This is basically use of action
It's
status.
it. Okay.
So this is basically use of action
Status.
status. Clear, right? Is that clear?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so and another last thing is nothing but action region. Okay, so action region is something like, so whenever we are mentioning a input field or input test, so make sure we are putting something within the action region tag. Okay,
Why? Why is it so?
so why it is nothing but, so whenever we are sending this particular data, okay, so whenever you are sending this particular data to the controller, okay, or server, so basically it is going to perform actions on only this particular part.
Okay.
Okay, so why? Because so whenever you are doing some actions within that particular range, right? Okay, so let's say we are selecting something drop down in this particular section of the page. Okay, so in that case, so server is going to perform actions on only these particular items,
Okay.
and it is going to render the page. So it won't perform the actions like from the entire page. You clear?
No. Come again. I am not able to get this. Action
So
region.
when, see, if I say, let's say if I go to the account, okay, so if I say go, if I say go, okay, so it is doing action. So if you see here, if I refresh this particular button, it is going to do the actions only for this particular region, right?
The particular region, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
this particular region. It is not doing it for the entire thing, correct?
yes.
So whenever you are using the action region, so the server it will perform the actions only for this specific region,
Okay,
and it will render the data.
okay.
Okay, so whenever you want to do something for a specific region, so basically we have to go for an action region.
Okay. So this will also give you of not the limit of view state then if you use action.
No, no, yeah, correct. So the one thing is nothing but we can increase the performance. Why? Because we are not loading the entire
Yes.
page. One thing.
Yes.
Okay, and second thing is nothing but the this one. The performance calculation doing by the server is less because it is only take care about the only this much portion.
Yeah.
So it is not take care about entire page. It is no like, so it is request is coming from only this region, so we have to perform actions only for this particular region.
Okay.
So it is not doing any action for the entire page.
Okay.
So in that case performance performance is a good performance, and also page loading is also very quickly it will load the page. So in that scenario basically we have to go for action region. Okay. So this is some kind of Ajax functionality. So it is some kind of Ajax functionality. Okay. So if you see here, so again they are using re-render flag, right? See here, re-render flag.
Yes.
Whenever you are using action region, it is always has to use a re-render flag.
That's compulsory or you have to use it with action.
So we have to use it actually, action region.
Okay.
So or else it is there is no meaning, right? Because why? Because action region we are saying the server like just perform the actions only for this particular region.
Okay.
Correct. So once it is action perform, basically we have to tell the server like in this portion we have to populate the data, right?
Okay.
In this portion we have to populate the data. For that reason we are mentioning re-render type.
Okay.
Okay, it is always best practice to use re-render. So whenever you are using the action region.
Okay.
If you are not using a re-render, then using this particular component itself doesn't make sense actually.
Okay.
Why? Because it is again loading the entire page.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so these are the 5 different action things which are available in sales process.
Okay.
Yeah, so the major things we are using is the action functions, okay, and action region. Okay, so action function and action regions are really useful. Okay, action polar and supports are not really that much used. So yes, so action region and actions functions are very useful.
Okay.
Okay, clear? Clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is about the actions functions. Okay, so now we will move to one of the thing called add or remove program. Okay, so I will explain you one of the code. Clear, right? If you have any questions, ask me. Okay. So once you understand the concept, right, so building this particular thing is very easy.
Yes.
So that's why I am going with the very basic things.
Yeah.
So whenever we are writing a complex code is nothing but we are writing a big UI.
Yes.
Let's say if you want to capture some 100 not 100 115 field, so basically we have to create a field by using input field or input text.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So map it in the controller, that's it. So perform that particular thing in controller and send it back the data.
Okay.
Okay, the functionality of this particular page is nothing but adding or removing the rows. Okay, so sometimes there will be a scenario like if you see any one of these sites like Naukri or Master, so it is going to give a options for adding the skills, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So by default it will give 3 or 4 rows, correct? So whenever if you want more rows, right? So you can basically click add row something like that, or some plus button.
Yes.
Okay. So that kind of like functionality or scenario which will come in the client projects. Okay, so in that case, so basically we have to implement something like this.
Okay.
So what it will happen actually, these are nothing but default. Okay, so default, what we are doing is that default we are creating one list. Okay, we are making entry in that particular list.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever say remove that particular row, so we are removing one entry from the list.
Okay.
List dot remove, correct?
Yeah.
Whenever saying add row, basically we are creating one entry in the list.
List
Create
dot
one
object.
object. Yeah, create one object, add it in that particular object. In
Yes.
our case, this is nothing but an account list. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Whenever click on add row, basically we are creating one account object and adding it in that particular list.
Okay.
So in that case, so it is going to add something like this script. Okay, so UI looks like. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So the code something like this. So this is for a page block. Okay, so it is a page block. So we are mentioning it in the page block table, right? Correct? So why? Because page block table, so there is a 5 columns, right? So that is the reason, so we are putting it in the page block.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so each things are column, so we have mentioned it within the column tag. Right? So we have mentioned it in the column tag.
Yeah.
Correct. So what we are doing, if you go to the constructor, okay, if you go to the constructor, this is a constructor, right?
Yeah.
This is a constructor.
Yeah.
So by default, I am creating a two account object. and add it in this particular list.
Yeah.
Correct. So add it in this particular list. So whenever page got loaded, so in that case it is going to show the two rows by default. Correct.
Yes.
Okay, why? Because by default there is a two entry in the list. Okay. Whenever click on add row is a button, right?
Yes.
Add row is a button. So whenever click on add row, it is going to call one method. Add row is a command button.
Yeah.
Okay, add row is a command button. It is going to call a add row method. Okay, what it is happening in add row? So it is going to create one more entry and add it to that particular list.
Oh, okay.
So list is keep on growing it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever click on remove row button, so basically it is calling the remove row method. Okay, so it is removing one particular data like object.
Yeah.
So it is removing from the top, like I am checking the size. Okay, so list is indexed, right? So it starts from 0.
Yeah.
So index will start from 0.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So I am making as a -1 and removing it up. So the entry will become, if it is a 3, it will become 2.
Yeah.
And it will populate the data. Okay? So there is a one more button called save. Correct?
Yeah.
So all the data enter here, it is automatically binded to that particular account object.
Yes.
So whenever we click on save, so the data will be saved into a database. Okay. So let's say test add row 1. Okay, so and test add row 2. Okay, and now if I click on this particular thing, so it is going to create a two particular record. See here, test add row 1 and test add row 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how so we have to create these kind of functionality. So whenever we are facing these kind of scenarios. Okay, so these kind of scenarios.
Here, you are adding this into the list. Okay. So, what are the number of maximum records you can add in a single list? Is there any limitation, or you can add as many as possible?
1,000.
Okay, 1,000 are the maximum. After that, list will throw an exception.
Correct. Okay, so whenever we want to add it up, so basically in case of UI, okay. So in case of UI, so basically you can pass the 1,000 entries back and forth from the UI and controller. Okay.
So in case there is a requirement for more than 1,000, is there any other way of doing it, or we have to create a second list in this case?
No. So if it is a more than 10,000, so basically we can go it for some kind of navigation.
Navigation.
Navigation. So
So
this is
basically,
all
that
right.
action means pagination or something. You got
Yeah, correct. Pagination.
Okay, okay, okay.
Pagination.
Okay.
So we can go to pagination and we can achieve it all.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is thing. So that kind of scenario don't happen. So maximum 4 to 5. Okay, maximum 5, not more than 10 also. So so face that kind of challenges. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is basically a use of list. So whenever we are facing these kind of things.
Yeah.
Okay, clear, right?
Clear.
So this is use of add and remove row program. Okay. So we are creating, let's say now I will add some account, right? So let's say if I add some account, let's say IBM, so it is populating the account name here, right? Okay, so account name it is populated, and if you see here, it is also copied some of the information about billing address, city, these things and all. So this is basically it is copying from the account object.
Yeah. Correct.
Right. So whenever you select this particular thing, so it is copied from the account object. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is basically we can achieve it by using either action function, or it may be action support.
Yeah.
Okay. In this scenario also we can use either action support or action function.
Okay.
So we'll discuss how to do this particular thing. Action are really useful. Okay. So many kind of scenarios. So where we need to use action functions and action supports. So I will design a custom contact page. Okay, so I will design a custom contact page. Click on preview. Okay, so click on preview. So here what it will happen, so whenever, let me say, if I select this particular account name, so we have to fill this one also. I think this account doesn't have phone number.
Basically, it's your controller, you are copying the account's values into a contact record, right?
Right, exactly. So what it is happening is, once we are selecting that, okay, so basically we have to pass some other parameter too. So what we are doing, so whenever we are adding this particular thing from the controller, okay, so whenever we are opening that particular thing,
Mhm.
So basically we have to pass some ID here.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to pass some ID here. Contact
Okay.
ID.
That will be account ID or contact ID?
Contact ID.
Okay, contact ID.
Contact ID. So what it will happen in that case? So if you select any one of the
Object.
account here,
Mm-hmm.
so basically it is going to pre-populate this particular field.
Fields. Okay.
Okay. So what it will happen? So it is querying this particular account name and it will populate the phone number.
Okay.
Let's say if we go back and let's say XYZ, and XYZ doesn't have any contact. So this is how it is pre-populating. Okay. So how it is pre-populating we'll discuss here. So this is nothing but extension. Okay. So here we are using the extension. So if you remember, so we are discussing about third controller.
Yeah.
Okay, one is nothing but standard controller and second thing is nothing but a custom controller or it is a plain controller, and third thing is nothing but a
Extension.
extensions. What is nothing but extension is nothing but whenever if you want to override some of the controller functionality, standard controller functionality. So basically we have to go for a extensions.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, so we are mentioning like this. See, standard controller is equal to contact and extensions is equal to subcontroller, my own controller.
Basically, this is the extension, that controller name which you have written, right?
Correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you see here, so this is a field of the account ID, right?
Yes.
For
Correct.
that account ID, if you observe here, so we have mentioned the action support.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So why this action support is required? So whenever somebody select that particular account ID, okay, so basically it is going to query that particular phone number and it is adding it in that phone number field. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so the controller will be something like this. Okay, so whenever you are using a class as a extension class, okay, make sure we have to implement this particular constructor.
Okay.
Okay, this is a constructor. See, these both are look similar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it will take the apex pages dot standard controller parameter.
Okay.
Apex pages dot standard controller parameter.
Okay.
Why this is required is nothing but to retrieve the value of the that particular object.
Okay.
To retrieve the ID of the that particular object.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever we are adding, okay, so extensions, make sure we have to use this particular controller
Okay.
constructor. Okay, so why this is used is nothing but to getting the ID of that particular contact. Okay, to getting the ID of that particular contact. Okay, so once you receive that contact object, so here basically it is a action method, right?
Yeah.
This is a action method. If you see here, we are calling a my action.
Yeah.
So here we are calling somewhere my action. Here my action. So my action is a plain method. So whenever you are calling that my action method, so we are retrieving the account and we are assigning account phone number to the contact object phone number.
Okay.
Okay. So in that case, what it will happen? So it is going automatically. It is going to add it into this particular phone number field and it is going to display it now.
Okay.
Okay. Clear? So we'll discuss more about extensions tomorrow's class. Okay.
Yeah,
So
sure.
why this constructor is required? Okay. So what it will happen whenever creating a new contact and all.
Okay.
So we'll discuss tomorrow.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Fine. Is that any question now?
No, not as of now.